Alrighty, this is part 3 of the tutorial, and in this one, I'm getting a little bit angry. So, yeah. Before we can proceed building the smart component, we need to build our Goat service. The Goat service will provide us Goat data. Right. So, services folder, name it Goat service.js. And we're just going to copy this because I don't want to write this out. Now usually, and it says here, right, he says in parentheses, usually you'll create a larger apps, we will want to create a separate module for our services. For the purpose of the tutorial, we're going to keep it simple. So usually you have a separate module with a folder and everything for that service. But we're not going to do that right now. Inside the services. Alright, so new file. What is it? Is it Goat service? Goat service. Here we go. New file. Goat service.js. Boom. Done. Done and done. Import Goat service from service. So again, in the app.js, you need to tell app.js that there's a service called Goat service. Actually, it is in the app.js. Yeah, it is in the app.js. I need to tell them about this, and we need to Goat service. Now, question is, actually no, this is not how you do it. I'm sorry. This imports a component. We need to tell this is a factory. Again, I usually wouldn't do this. You know, usually you have a separate folder. If I can show you here in home, I don't have it here right now, but usually you have a module, and that module will specify it's a factory, and then you import that through there, and you actually put that in here as well in Anchor, that module stuff to import later on. But right now we're going just to keep it a factory. I'm going to copy this for ease of use, and done. And again, we're gonna check whenever we made any changes, we want to check that everything works and nothing's broken. Nothing's broken. Oh, cool. Well, nothing is broken. Sweet. Or is it broken? No, nothing's broken. Now this right here actually watches for our changes. So Go watches for changes and refreshes or reruns the application. So that's why we don't really have to do anything in terms of rerunning the application, because it watches for changes. Let's go ahead and go back to this. Next, we'll create our smart component by saying smart. I mean that it will interact with our service and pass the information from the other dump components beneath. So as I said before, the smart components are what interact, the middleman between the service and the dump components. And the dump component is simply like, give me information, and I'm going to display the information. We will place our smart component inside the containers folder, a common practice I borrowed from React. Okay. Not me, but the guy. I haven't used React soon. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see, like, I would like to get into React someday. Inside the containers, we are going to create that in here. So just paste that in. Alrighty. Ghost list HTML contains this. Goats list inside the containers. Okay, vm.goats list. Now, how are we going to be passing this vm.goats list? Well, let's find out. We have a goats list controller file will contain a fetch use request from the service and place it in the controller scope so we can pass it to the dump components. Boom, I just answered the question. Goats listing controller. So that's the actual controller. So controller right here, voila, Goat listing controller. Let's make sure nothing's broken again. Okay, nothing is broken. I'm happy. And we also need to tell about, okay, for a container work, we need to inject it into our home.js file. Can I just copy this? No, I'm not a big fan of the dot. You see that right there, the dot slash. And this tells the computer to go back one directory, so one parent directory. So we're going, since we are in the home.js folder, if we take a look here, inside the home.js. You see we're in home, and we want to go back to the pages directory, and then go back to the containers directory, and then actually access the goats listing directory. So I'm not a big fan of those. I still haven't figured out how to fix that though. What is the other way of doing this? There's gotta be some way. We're gonna import this in here, so goats listing component. And again, we're not gonna put the name in here because that's gonna break everything. Let's just check it out. It all works. It works. Let's just check here. It all works. It all works. We're going to create another component called goats list. So as we're going through this, right? So we created, where is it? Come on, okay. We create the navigation component, we create the home component, we create the goats listing component, which is a smart component, and now I'm going to create the goats list component, which I have here. Boom. Cool. Goats list component inside the components. Yes, goats list component. I like it. Let's go down. Goats listing, did that. Now we did goats list. Let's replace the HTML with what's needed. Goats list, HTML, paste. Again, I'm doing this because my point is to see and to show you how it works, not to you don't want to see me typing. Remember that we passed the goats list area from our containers. Since all components are scope isolated, we need to open the input for the outside world. We do that from the goats list.component.js file. Okay, so we need to open up this goats input from here. So goats list component. Okay. Okay. I just want to, okay. So this tells us, okay, we have this, it's expecting a goats variable, and the less than sign is telling us we're only accepting it, so we can't change it back. So that specific component cannot actually, there's no two-way binding going on between those two. And how does it know how does it know to look up the component? Well, through here, right? So let's go ahead. Component, we have goats list, and this goats list, okay, tells us, okay, there's a goats list component, which it shows over here. Oh, so goats list component, and voila. There's no goats dash list, it's goats capital letter list, but Angular interprets it as goats dash list. It's something that I learned the hard way, and you can actually check it out. I'll link, I think I'll link the description for that downstairs in the description. No, I'll link the webpage, the explanation in the description. That's how it is. Okay, let's create a goats list item. That's the item within the goats. Create a goats list item. We've got it here. Okay, let's define a goat property defined to our component since we are passing from the component above. Goat list item. Again, let's just do that right now. So list item components dot, I think that component t.js. Voila. Cool. Are we making are we getting into trouble? Nope, hopefully not. Replace the HTML and the goats list item. Cool. So how are we getting the vm.goat.name? We are getting it from the parent, which the parent is the goats list. So let's take a look at here. You can see right here, ng repeat goat in vm.goats. That's how we get it. So goat list item, we're going to repeat through vm.goats, which vm.goats actually comes from that parent. So that comes from the goats listing right here. vm.goat list, right? Goats. vm.goats, yes, vm.goats. It's a whole, like, it's very perpetuating. So, the data is transfer linked through, which is great. JS file goat list item, sweet. Okay. Inject the item list item into the goats list JS so we can use it inside our ng repeat loop. We need to inject it in there. Obviously, we need to do that too. This needs to be injected into here. Goat import goat list item component from, we need to go up one directory. So we're going to go up to the components directory, and then we're going to access this goat list item / goat list item. And then we simply link this up in here, goat list item component. Voila. And I think we also need to link this goats list up to the goats listing. So this goats list needs to know of the goats listing too. So let's go ahead and do that. It's something that was not mentioned inside, but I think it's a very important because it will not work otherwise. Well, let's see. It's not working, but is it? Yeah, but don't really. That's not important. Don't worry about that. See, it's not actually loading it at all. Okay, we're going to import the goats list. Import goats list component from, again, up one directory. Where are we at? Let's take a look. So, right. So you went up to the containers directory. We want to go up to the app directory. So one more directory up, one more up. And then we are going to access the containers. Then we're going to access the goats listing. Goats listing. We are on the goats listing right now. We need to access the components. I'm sorry. Components goat list / goat list. Boom, done. Okay, goat list component. All right, I'm happy about that. All right, compiled. It works. But where are the goats? I don't see any goats yet. That doesn't make me happy. Okay, cool. Our viewer seems to work, except one problem. Our Go photo is too big. You can fix that. So our Go photo should work. Wait, is that what you're saying? Goats list time.css. Alright. Obviously something's not getting linked, so we need to tell app.js about it. Actually, I'm gonna go in and delete whatever is unneeded. Need all this stuff. We do not need this whatsoever. Yeah, delete this. Move to trash. Delete this. We don't need this as well. Move to trash. This does not need it as well. Move to trash. Sweet. Again, I'm doing this because I want to see. We don't need this as well. Move to trash. Pages, services. Why are we not getting what we need? You should be able to view all the goats. You know. So the home page. Let's take a look at this. So this is. Let's debug it together. So we have the home page, which is right here. Right? Welcome to the GoatLove homepage, the best step for finding true love. Okay, very funny. App home. It's not even loading the goat page, you see? So it's loading navigation, but there's no goat. Why are you not loading? Home.home. Oh, we do not even have the home component. Come on, Nazari. How can you do that? Home component. See, that's, you gotta, yeah. Yeah, no. Disappointing myself. It's not very good. So that works. Yay! Look, we've got the home page. List. Okay, this page will list all our goats registered. You can view the listing or create your own profile. Sweet. So we got what we needed. Okay, but we do need to list our goats. Where's the goats? So then this home